Wednesday morning pre-market futures are green and ripping right now. Dow futures are up 49 points. Tech futures are up 218 points. The 10-year is still under 1.80, which is strong for the market. And what's even more strong for the market is the dollar. The dollar, which was at 97.22 and then lost 0.75% yesterday and the day before, has just fallen under $96. So it's lost 2 full percent in the past 3 days, signifying our markets are more attractive. All right. So what we've seen in the markets Friday, Monday, Tuesday, not a fluke, but understand nothing goes straight up or down. So I'm going to go over what I expect in the markets today, but first, why? Okay. So let's get into it. Job numbers are coming out at 8:30. So please watch pre-market, see what the stocks are doing from 8:30 to 8:40. Once the data is processed, you'll see if it has a negative or positive effect on your stocks. Now, what am I thinking about the market today? Well, follow the trend. All right. The trend is going higher. Now, what's going to support the trend? Easy. Google. Google had earnings after hours yesterday. They reported earnings extremely strong for YouTube revenues, advertising, and also their cloud service. So stocks that will benefit off of Google coming out and saying we had strong cloud reports. NET, NET, or DDOG, DDOG. Okay, another company that came out with earnings was AMD, chip maker, right? Exploded up over 10% after hours and pre-market this morning. They came out with fabulous numbers. Oh, I don't remember the woman's name, but the CEO, she upset me in COVID because I had AMD options at the time, about $150,000 worth of options. I said AMD was going to beat and come out with 41 cents when the estimate was like 31 cents. So they were going to beat by like 29 or 30%, which they did. And AMD took off pre-market. And then 5 minutes later, they announced that they were buying Xilinx, the number 3 chip maker. So AMD was number 2 at the time. Xilinx was number 3. NVIDIA was number 1. And they were paying $35 billion. Well, she did a great job because with that all factored in, AMD is more profitable now than ever before. So again, companies that will benefit off AMD's report will be NVIDIA or other chip-related companies. I like Micron. Some people like Seagate Technologies, STX. I like Micron, which is MU. Now, poor earnings yesterday, all right, or disappointing earnings. PayPal, PYPL, currently down 15 to 16% pre-market. So, Matt, how do we use that information? Great, because if the market struggles at all today and gives back a little, PayPal will likely drop from 16% down to 21% down. Now, another company that will be affected by PayPal's earnings, a similar company, Affirm, AFRM, probably down a few percent. What else? Square. I haven't looked at Square, and I'm very curious. I wish I had before I filmed this. But Square probably be down a few percent today because of that. So with that said, most importantly, I want to talk about the mental game, your mental game, my mental game. I like to share through transparency. So what does that mean? We have certain athletes that step away from their sports because they need to work on their mental game. And it doesn't mean they need to improve their mental game. It means they're struggling. They're struggling for a number of reasons. So I'm going to turn it to trading and I'm going to relate to myself. So first, I have severe anxiety, not in a daily basis, but when it comes to trading. Why? Because I like to be correct. And when the market fluctuates the way it does between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. on open, it dips, it spikes, it dips, it spikes. My anxiety just goes crazy. Am I going to be right? Should I have sold my options? Oh, should I have bought these options? Is the market going to be strong and that dip was a great dip for me? Or was that spike going to be the top for me today and my stock will go lower and lower as the day progresses? So my anxiety gets the best of me. Now, what else? Well, I trade by myself. I trade in my apartment. I'll trade on my phone when I'm out someplace, but I trade by myself, meaning there's no support system. Hey, you're doing a great job, Matt. hey, don't worry about missing the entry into the trade. There's going to be another trade. So please, I want everybody to be very cautious of their own mental game and how they're feeling. Now, also, we look at the glass half empty. What could have been? I was looking at 5 trades. I only entered one of them, and I probably picked the one trade where I'm down 22%. 4 of the other 5 trades, 35, 40, 80, 100% higher. So then I get down to myself, why did you pick that one? Why didn't you pick all? Why didn't you buy 10 contracts of all 5 trades? Because that's a lot of information to digest. Those are a lot of positions to follow, track, make sure you set, your exit strategy correct on the spike. So what do I like to do? I've told you before, I like to keep a notebook. In the front of my notebook, I like to detail my trades. Before I go into them, I will state the reason I'm going to them. I like NVIDIA. AMD has earnings. Oh, here's a good one. Facebook's coming out with earnings today. Now, I told myself I don't like to trade through earnings. However, I've been acquiring Facebook calls because I've always been strong Facebook. One thing I say is every earnings period, Facebook comes out and it doesn't matter what the estimates are. The estimates are, let's say, $6 a share for earnings per share, and they come out at like $9. They beat by 50%. When earnings are supposed to be $13 a share, they come out at $18 a share. Now, I said that last quarter, and I was wrong. They only beat last quarter by like 4, 5, 6%. It was a very small beat. And I was expecting 18, 19, 20% beat. So again, I will be adding to my Facebook position. Now, lastly, let's talk about the market. Since the Fed came out and they said we're not raising rates until March, that puts us back in a bullish cycle in the market. But understand, nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. We are 5% from the all-time highs. So what happened over the course of the last, let's say, 14 trading days is the market got hit hard. It went down 17% from the all-time high. And in the past 3 trading days, we have made back 12%. I know it's just crazy. The opportunity was there. But again, I will tell you not to chase. So there are some stocks that will go higher. Again, I mentioned some stocks with earnings. So if the market opens and it goes down at open for a little bit, and you can get Google perhaps at plus 3 or 4 or 5% today, and then it retracts and goes back to plus 10, plus 11% by tomorrow. All right, that's a quick scalp for me. So let's bring up the SPY real quick, and let's see what we got going on with the SPY today. All right, let's make me real small and the SPY real big. Okay, so here we are at the SPY. Extremely light volume going into, last Wednesday's Fed meeting. Fed came out, there was buying and buying, yet the SPY was going down. It was forming a base. It was telling you at these levels, right, 434, they were forming a base. Under it was actually 440. So it was 438 and down it was forming a base. We actually dropped to 426 on the 27th. So although it's showing 431, we were actually down at 426. And then the last 3 days, we have spiked higher. And because of earnings with Google, with AMD, and with a few others, the market is up pre-market. And I expect the SPY to have another inflow day. I expect volume on the SPY to be maybe 152 million, like it was on the last day of January, or 149 million. I don't think it's going to be one of those 250 million SPY days where the SPY explodes, 2-3%. But I could definitely see the SPY finishing up over 1% today, which would put it, where are we? 452. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're up 0.7% pre-market. I can definitely see a 50% gain from that. So you go from 0.70 to 1.05. 1.05 would put us closer to 459, 460. So it would not surprise me if the SPY spikes past 460 today. Remember, nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. If you get a nice spike, secure profit, look to re-enter and do it again.